and welcome, sensational Scorpios. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and I'm here to do your tarot horoscope for 2020. And what a big, massive year it is for everyone, and especially you, sensational Scorps, because there's a lot of activity going on in your co-ruling planet Pluto. I've got Jupiter on the brain. So Pluto, and Pluto rules your sign along with Mars. So there's also 6 eclipses coming up, and normally with eclipses the effects last a couple of months. Some people say up to 6 months, in fact. But with 6 eclipses, as you can appreciate, in the 1 year, they're sort of rolling around on top of each other. So we no sooner get over one, and then there's another one to deal with. So we start the year with the ball already running, I guess, and us running on the 10th of January with the first lunar eclipse. And this is in your 3rd house, so you have a lot going on. The focus is really on your 3rd and your 9th house. So a lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking and strategizing, planning. You probably have to really think carefully that you don't overthink things. So you have to remind yourself not to overthink things, because there is so much mental energy here. But it's all about learning and thinking about that, and the knowledge that comes from that. And what are you going to do with that knowledge? Are you going to share that knowledge with anybody else? You know, that's the big question. But with this first eclipse in the 3rd house, you may be predisposed to publishing or somehow expressing that to a wider audience. Expressing that knowledge that you already have, and that new knowledge that you're acquiring. It's also about this lunar eclipse. The 3rd house is also about your local area. You could find yourself very busy running local errands, looking after your household accounts and things like that. And you may hear from a sibling. Perhaps you haven't heard from this sibling for a while, but something comes up. And so mental energy is really featured 10th of January. Added to that, to just 2 days after, so that's the 12th of January, Saturn conjuncts Pluto, and that is also in your 3rd house. So sorry, I mucked that up. It's the 10th of January is the lunar eclipse in your 9th house. The 12th of January is Saturn conjuncting Pluto in your 3rd house. It's still all about thinking. The 9th house on the 10th is the higher order thinking, the abstract concepts, the big course that you might be thinking about doing, or the really big publishing thing like a book or something really important. The Saturn conjuncting Pluto 2 days later is the sort of everyday type thinking being organised. Got myself completely confused there. Sorry. March 21 to July 1st sees Saturn moving into your 4th house of home and family. Now, with Saturn moving into your 4th house, there may be some delays or some challenges around your home and family. Perhaps you had some things planned, and it just keeps getting put off and put off and put off. And there could be, disagreements with people, or there could be something to do with the structure of your family changing, because Saturn loves structure and stability. It's a very sort of conservative energy. So if somebody comes with some really outlandish type of news in the family, that could really put the cat amongst the pigeons. You could throw out old things, and you could change structures in your home. So that would be like renovating. Maybe you want to pull down a fence or something, put up a new fence, or pull down some walls or something like that. April 4, June 20th, November 12th, Jupiter conjuncts Pluto. So much going on with Pluto. Your life increases. Okay, so Jupiter conjuncting Pluto. Jupiter wants to make everything bigger. Pluto wants to destroy. So they can actually work together, because you have to destroy something to make something new. Demolish an old habit to bring in a new habit. Demolish the back part of your house to build a new extension, or something like that. It is in your third house, so this could be publishing something around the community, or maybe there's some interaction between your home and the community. Maybe something happens in the community that affects your home in some way. May 13th to June 25, Venus retrograde in your 8th house. Now, this is a house of shared resources, and it's a little bit strange in that some people think, because you've got shared resources, but then you've got intimacy and sex. And if you think about it, yes, ideally intimacy and sex are shared in an ideal world. And so with this influence, you could find things go quieter. Maybe you lose your sex drive, or maybe you just don't want anything to do with other people, or because it's shared resources, it can also be loans, inheritances, somebody else's money, and things could be going backwards in that way. Venus normally likes really smooth, easygoing transactions. Maybe you change your mind about a loan or something, but something's going backwards with regards to shared resources in that time. June 5, lunar eclipse in your second house. That's about your finances. There's some sort of shake-up going on. I often think of the lunar eclipses like vibrations inside, like a little mini earthquake, and stuff is coming up from your subconscious. You may not act on it immediately, but you can feel these I think the word's perturbations, and it's like the little rumblings of stuff changing within, and it's all happening down in your subconscious. And the lunar eclipse is more about like the feminine side, so you're really like feeling it. Then on June 21, there's a solar eclipse in your 9th house. So that's when it's more external instead of just coming up. It's their focus to the outside world. And your 9th house is again about your spirituality, your higher mind, and perhaps even travel and foreign connections. It might be at this point you decide you're going to go overseas, or you could actually go overseas because there's some sort of foreign connection going on there. Maybe you'll meet someone overseas. It's a new beginning, a new start for you in these areas. July 1 to December 18th, Saturn dips back into your 3rd house of communications, publishing, local area, and siblings. So it's like you're reviewing, reassessing, and reflecting on your communications and what you put out on the world, out to the world. You could retweak your publications or your podcasts or your YouTube videos in some way during this time. July 5th is a lunar eclipse again in your 3rd house. So you can see what I'm saying about so much of a shake-up. You may really decide, especially if you have a small business this year, you may decide the way you're doing things in terms of email campaigns, promotions campaigns, that sort of thing. You might decide to get new software and maybe join up with somebody else to use their facilities. Like a real shake-up. It's not going to stay the same as it used to be. And even if you're not in business, the whole way that you communicate change. Maybe get off Facebook and decide you're going to use, WhatsApp or something. I don't know. But there's some major change around the way that you communicate in 2020. Sensational Scorps, September 9th to November 14th. Mars, your co-ruler with Pluto is retrograde in your 6th house. So, okay, Mars going backwards. It doesn't actually go backwards, but to us on Earth, it looks like it's going backwards. And this means you may be feeling a bit flat with your energy, especially like on an everyday type level where you would normally, you know, go around, clean your house and do sort of normal general things at work. You just might be feeling a bit tired and jaded, not have the energy to start anything new, and you know, really go with what you're feeling, because Mars is just trying to get you to slow down a bit at this time. It also could be affecting your well-being and your health in some way. You may find you just feel tired, and you know, if you've got any niggly problems, you might really become aware of them at this point. The other side, when Mars goes direct again, of course, you'll start to feel much better and you'll find a new way of doing things, and then you'll be motivated and strong again. So that's about 6 weeks later. What did I say? November 14. Okay, so November 14th, you'll feel much better. November 30, lunar eclipse in your 8th house of shared resources. So again, a shake-up around your intimacy, sex, hidden things. Even spirituality is affected to some extent with this one. 14th of December, solar eclipse in your 2nd house. Okay, this is lovely because it's a new start with your possessions, your money supply, and anything that you value. So you may change or tweak your core belief systems about what you value and change it slightly. You may increase your money, maybe you get a new job or a promotion, or your hobby becomes a side hustle where you're earning money from your hobby. Maybe you'll start to earn money here on YouTube. We can all hope. Some of us are. But yeah, it's a hard slog. But with this will give you more energy, and you know, it's a sign of better fortune in these areas. December 17 and December 19th, Saturn into your 4th house and Jupiter into your 4th house. Now, this is pretty powerful type of aspects around your home and family. There might be a little bit of balancing up because there's sort of opposite energies in some way. Saturn likes conservatism, tradition, holding on to the past. Sometimes can be like a bit of a stick in the mud to keep you in the one position, which has its pros and cons. Jupiter, on the other hand, wants to increase, wants to grow, wants to, you know, go on, put that extension on your home, or, you know, go on, eat that extra piece of apple pie, you'll put on weight. Jupiter loves that. Jupiter's trying to grow your opportunities. Saturn's trying to stay safe and cautious. So is this like balancing out thing that's happening with home and family at that time? It's very powerful. The two will eventually find a balancing point that works together, that which will be slow and steady growth that is sustainable. Okay, something's going to change at home. You could even move if there's other aspects in your chart that you know are helping you in this way. You could move homes or decide to move homes at this point. Okay, so I'll just close my eyes now, sensational Scorps, and see what I can see for you psychically. Okay, yes, so straight away I've got a ladder here, ladder of success, climbing the ladder of success. So just do it slowly. If you try to do it too quickly, what I actually see off the side to the ladder is a slippery dip going down. So you're going to slip right down to the bottom and have to start again if you go too fast. Sometimes when I see this ladder of success in spirit, I see the rungs that you're walking on actually breaking. Lucky for you, there is a plan B, which is a slippery dip on the side, because I don't usually see that, and you'll be safe. but you just have to start again. So you might have to restart a project if you take risks. So I would say the end of December there, or to the end of December, don't take unnecessary risks, and just go slowly, methodically, because that's what Saturn likes. It likes to get used to the energy step by step by step. Jupiter gets a bit frustrated because you're going too slow, but at least you're moving, okay, which is great. Alrighty, so now what we'll do is we're going to go to the board, to the cards. I must say too, those dates that I just gave you, plus or minus a day, because depends in the world, you know, what time zone you're in. I'm in Australia, so we're like nearly a full day ahead of the US. And now I'm going to do the cards, and I'll draw 5 cards. These dates are approximate that I give you, okay? So let's have a look. Now I've already pre-shuffled them, and what I'm going to do now is I'll just shuffle them up again because I like them nice and fresh. And we're going to go with card number 1, which is January, February into March approximately. Okay, so right at the start of the year, I'm going to go back. There's one here that really wants me, which is this one. Okay, this is fabulous. 10 of Pentacles. Excellent for your finances, your possessions, and what you value. You may have recently completed something and you're going to be rewarded handsomely for it. So this completion, it's like a cycle. Maybe you've done a job and you've done a job and now you're getting paid. You could even get a little bit of a bonus, or some money comes your way, or some lucky opportunity. Maybe you're buying something and you get it at a really good price. You'll see this last here, and it could affect also your home. There's something there with your home as well. You might be thinking about ways to improve the value of your home, which will pay off. You'll see this lass here is wearing gold, which is symbolic of the solar plexus, and this is all about confidence, self-esteem, credibility. It's goal oriented. It's giving you the action and the impetus to move ahead. All right, so March, April, May we're looking at now, card number 2, and we come up with the 9 of Cups. This is about your emotions. This is your dreams coming true in some respect. Not necessarily finances, but could be. And it's like, keep the faith, have hope and trust, and the genie will supply you with the success to your project or whatever your heart's desires are. So you're feeling really confident about what it is you're doing. March, April, May, and as a success is a very likely outcome. Okay, so now we're looking at May, June, July, May, June, July, May, June, July, and see what we come up with. I'm just looking for something that one's calling me. Okay, this is great. This is the World card. This is all about the world is your oyster. You can manifest your heart's desires. See this lass here? She's got 1 foot on the world, so she's grounded in practical reality. But she is directed by spirit. The rest of her body is out in spirit. So you can see an owl there in the top corner, whispering intuition into her ear. And there in the other top corner is an angel that's holding up that piece of gold fabric that she is adorned with. That piece of gold fabric, it represents spiritual preciousness. It is not related to, not directly related to your clothing or your wardrobes. So this is not about buying brand labels. This is about you're adorned in gold in spirit. In the Bible, if you read the Bible, there's a lot of passages about being adorned with jewelry, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, that sort of thing. So this is sort of along those lines, that there's a preciousness and value, spiritual value to what you're doing, and it's also being manifested on the physical world. So it's a very beautiful card, a great card. Okay, August, September, October, and we come up with that one. Wow. Okay, this is the opposite in some sort of way. This is Ten of Swords. You've been stabbed in the back. There's a sense of betrayal. It's like you've gone from this, you've been up really high, and then you're very much disappointed because somebody's done the wrong thing by you. It could be that you actually, the wrong thing has been going on for some time, but you actually just find out about it now. And you need to know the truth of what's happening, and you need to take action. See, she's got red. She's dressed in red there with a black band around her waist. And you need to know the truth so you can take action. Okay, so black is like something hidden, and then you become aware of it, so it's not hidden anymore. But the good news is it is the end of a cycle. So this is a 10, so it's indicating there's a new beginning coming. And also you'll see here there's butterflies. I don't know if you can see that really clearly. There's lots of butterflies there, and that also indicates new life, a new beginning, a new start for you, because you had been going along without knowing what the truth is. Also, this is swords, so you're thinking about it a lot. It doesn't mean that you're not feeling it, but you're really strategizing and thinking about something that's happened. It could even be in the past. It might be something from the past that comes back into your mind. And now you have the chance to reinvent yourself in a new cycle of life. All right, so October, November, December, last part of the year for sensational Scorpio. There we go, that one literally jumps out. And it's the Seven of Swords. Okay, there's a couple of things going on. More thinking, of course. And like I said right at the beginning, be careful you don't overthink, because you'll see here now we have two swords, pentacles, a cup, and the world. So be careful you don't overthink things. This is about travel, moving away. See those tents there, the shape of those tents? They could also represent your chakras having a clean out. So 7 swords. You may have been in a bit of a sort of fantasy about something and not really understood what was happening, and then you found out here, and now you're moving away, and you see the gold there. She's wearing yellow, so this has been affecting your confidence, your self-esteem, your credibility, your authenticity. The solar plexus is also like a symbolic of the energy of your fatherhood figure might be involved. Authorities might have let you down in some way, or a romantic partner or somebody you looked up to could have let you down, but now you're moving away. So there's movement associated with this, and you're thinking about it. It mightn't actually be happening right now. It may have just sort of come into your mind now about something that happened in the past. Okay, so now I'm going to do a psychic summary for you, sensational Scorpio, to sum up for the year. Okay, the first thing I've got is the need to express your feelings. Maybe write them down, though, because you've got so much mental energy going on around you, and especially, like I said before, all this in the 3rd house and the 9th house, and that gives you a lot of thinking energy. So if you're writing, you can get your thoughts down, or maybe put it in a blog, or maybe in some Facebook posts or something that can help other people, because that will help you move on. I'm seeing now ball bearings. I don't know what this means because I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm seeing this row of ball bearings, the little ball bearings, they're like metal and they're like moving along, sliding. So there is movement away from a situation, and maybe it's like grit your teeth and bear it, because it's almost like the ball bearings are inside your teeth. And so teeth represent the developmental cycles that we all go through. So this could even go back to your childhood, because you know how little kids they lose their milk teeth and they go on to adult teeth, and we go through developmental cycles all of our life, in fact. And so these ball bearings I'm seeing in your teeth are moving out of your teeth. I feel like there's situations that in your life you've encountered where you felt trapped. All you could do was grit your teeth and bear it. And because of the pressure, the teeth have actually inside have turned into ball bearings. They've turned into metal because of the pressure you've been under. Maybe you've been, biting down on your teeth or grinding your teeth. That's called bruxism, especially at night time while you're asleep. You could be having nightmares or just like a general sort of stress that is impacting on your jaw. That can give you headaches, backache, neckache, a whole range of problems from that. A thing called TMJ, temporomandibular joint. That's here, the joint of the jaw. If you can find somebody in your area who does TMJ manipulation, that would help you with this grinding of the teeth or this gritting your teeth and bearing it. Now, I know that all doesn't sound terribly positive, but it is positive, sensational Scorps, because now you know about it and you are actually moving. These things have already happened and now you're moving away from them. You're processing the energies. So well done you. The healing is actually taking place in 2020. Maybe there's things in your subconscious that you haven't been able to deal with because it's not safe to deal with them, or you've been too busy, or you've had other things on, or it's just plain bloody hard. Let's face it, it's not easy work. But you are going to be feeling so much better by the end of 2020, because there's going to be more freedom in your physical body. The resistance is going to be lifted. That's what Spirit wants to do. It wants you to be free of all these sort of physical blocks and mental blocks and emotional blocks. So a good mantra for you in 2020 throughout the year is to say something like, I am willing to let go of the past. And then you can get more specific. If you know what the incident is, I am willing to let go of that time that so-and-so abused me, whatever it is, So this is a really healing time for you, and Spirit just wants to congratulate you and encourage you to keep going, because you're really making great progress. And on that note, I'd just like to thank you very much for supporting me in 2019. My tiny channel is also making great progress. It's turning into a small channel now because I'm getting more and more people subscribing all the time. And thanks for your comments and your kind words of encouragement over the year. So I look forward to a great 2020 with you. I've got lots and lots of things. I have to restructure my life a bit because I've got, Absolute Soul Secrets, which is a psychic network. So if you need a psychic reading, go and check that out. Give us a call. But yeah, I've got so much. I feel this sort of real, I feel compelled to share, with the world what I know. So YouTube's a great way of doing that. And I'd just like to wish you now a very happy and healthy and prosperous 2020. Thanks again. Give this video a like if you like it. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell. Thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website
absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.